Magnate halts before a vagrant and proclaims, "You're my father." When the DNA findings emerged, she was astounded. She was one of the most photographed women in the city, a self-made tycoon at just 27. Sophia Carter, tailored suit, radiant beauty, and a bold drive that earned her both esteem and envy in the business world. Her life spilled across social media, glossy features, fashion spreads, charity galas. Yet behind the success lay a quiet pain no one saw. She had no family, no roots, no serenity, and it all began with one photo, a faded old image of a happy family. Her as a 9-year-old girl, held close by a tall man with a proud smile, her mother shining beside them. The last photo. The only photo, because soon after that day he vanished. For years, Sophia believed her mother's odds. He abandoned us. He was weak. He left us with nothing. So she buried the grief and focused on forging her own future. But then fate stepped in. 2 years ago, her mother fell ill, cancer. Sophia cared for her despite their strained ties. In her final weeks, her mother, pale, thin and frail, confessed all. "I lied to you. He never left. It destroyed him. I betrayed. I took everything. He fought, but he couldn't win. And I shut him from your life. He loved you so deeply. He still does, somewhere." With trembling hands, her mother gave her the old image. Then she was gone. That one truth broke Sophia's world. Memories flooded back. Her father's grin, the warmth of his embrace, the way he'd twirl her around, laughing. He wasn't the villain. He was the victim. And for the first time, Sophia longed to find him. For months, she searched. She hired top investigators. She traced every old address, business record, legal file, but no trail remained. It was as if he'd vanished, her heart shattered daily. Finally, exhausted, empty, she gave up, until one ordinary afternoon when life shifted. It was a bright day in the city. Sophia, late for a board meeting, pulled up in her gleaming red supercar, a symbol of her triumph. She stepped out, tall, elegant, confident, distracted by her phone, and then she saw him. Across the street, an old man stood, hunched under a tattered cap. His clothes were worn, filthy, his feet in broken sandals, his thin arms clutching a stained sack, his beard wild, grey with age, but his face... Her heart stopped. It was him. She stood frozen, no sound, no breath. She stared, tears rising, unable to move. Could it be? After all these years, her hands shook. Suddenly, instinct took over. She hurried across the street. People stared as this glamorous young woman in designer heels approached, vagrant, eyes brimming with tears. She stopped before him, voice quaking. "Sir, please. What's your name?" The old man blinked, confused, his mind fogged by years of hardship. He looked Aether, eyes narrowing, something familiar flickering in them. I don't know any more," he whispered hoarsely. "Been too long, lost too much." Tears streamed down her face. She reached into her purse, pulled out the image, and held it before him. The old man squinted, stared, and gasped. He trembled, knees weak, clutching the photo. A single tear rolled down his weathered cheek. "My little Sophia, it can't be, not after all this time." The crowd grew. Our phones out, pictures snapped, but none dared interrupt. For what they witnessed was more than our union. It was a collision of love lost and found. Sophia could barely breathe. Are you really my father?" she sobbed. He nodded weakly. "I was before they took you, before they ruined me." She collapsed into his arms. The city, the cameras, the flashing cars, all vanished. It was just a daughter and a father. Moments later, Sophia called her assistant. "Bring the car and call the clinic. I want a DNA test now." That night, the old man lay in a warm bed for the first time in years in Herpent House guest suite. A nurse cared for him. Sophia sat at his side, holding his hand, staring at the image, heart racing with countless questions. The DNA test was done. Urgent results promised within 48 hours. Sophia barely slept. Her mind swirled. Could it really be him? What happened all those years? Why was the truth kept from me? And when the results came, what she'd discover would shock her even more than she imagined. The hours felt endless. Sophia sat alone in her penthouse, her polished empire of glass and steel. But tonight, she was just a daughter waiting for a truth that could change her life forever. Down the hall, her father, the man she'd barely known as a child, rested in a soft bed, freshly bathed, wearing new clothes. He was weak, weary, but finally warm after years of cold streets and bitter nights. Sophia's mind swirled with memories. Her mother's final words, the confession, the old image, and now this fragile man who once held her so close. Then the call came. Her assistant's voice trembled. "Miss Carter, the DNA results are in. I'm sending them now, and you should read them yourself." Sophia's heart pounded. The email blinked on her phone. She opened it, hands shaking, and scanned the page. Paternity probability 99.9999%. Conclusion: biological father. Tears streamed down her face. It was him. It was really him. All these years he'd been alone, while she grew up believing Ailey. She rushed to the guest room. The old man stirred as she entered, eyes opening slowly. Sophia knelt beside him, voice breaking. "Papa, it's true. You're my father." He blinked, tears welling in tired eyes. For a long moment he couldn't speak. Then, "I never stopped loving you. Not one day." She sobbed into his chest, the weight of years crumbling in a single moment. That day, everything changed. News of the encounter leaked fast. Photos of the stunning Tycoon embracing a vagrant spread across social media. Speculation flew. Who was he? What was their story? When Sophia released a statement, "He is my father. He was once a great man, wronged and forgotten. I won't let him be forgotten again." The city was stunned. But behind the headlines, the truth emerged. In quiet talks, her father, once known as Thomas Carter, a respected businessman, told his story. How he'd loved her mother, built a life for them. How betrayal destroyed everything. His fortune, his reputation, and worst, his right to be a father. How courts and lies stole her away, and how powerless he was to fight with nothing left. And how he wandered the streets, holding on to nothing but the memory of her smile. Sophia listened, her heart breaking. She thought of her mother's harsh words. Forget him. He was weak. How wrong that was. She vowed then, "I'll give back all they took. You'll live with me. You'll be honored, and the world will know your name." True to her word, the next week Sophia hosted a private press conference. "This is my father, Thomas Carter. A good man, wronged, who deserves respect. I'll stand by him always." Public opinion shifted overnight. Messages of support poured in. Such strength. A daughter's love heals all. Thomas's life transformed. He moved into Sophia's estate, given the finest care, a private medical team, and above all, a daughter's unwavering love. Each day they talked, shared meals, rebuilt the bond stolen from them. Sophia often looked at the old image, now framed in her office. A father, a mother, a little girl, a family broken, now healed. Months passed. Thomas's health improved. No longer the frail man on the street. He stood tall again, a father proud of his daughter's strength and heart. And Sophia, she, no longer cared for magazine covers or market rankings. The greatest victory of her life was simple. "I found my father. I know the truth, and we are whole again." If this story touched your heart, please like the video and subscribe for more powerful, emotional, and surprising tales. And share in the comments where you're watching from. We love hearing your stories too. Until next time, stay kind, stay inspired, and keep watching.